local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster and area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, we want to welcome you into the new Lloydminster Nissan, where we are joined today by Brandy Hewitt, the owner of Lloyd Wine Outfitters. She's joining us today to talk about their wine tasting event, which is coming up on October 17th. It's an annual event that has become very popular here in Lloydminster. You will not want to miss it. And this turns out to be just a coincidence, but John Hewitt will also join us. He's performing in the Jim Croce tribute at the Vic Juba Theatre on September 29th. SwiftNet.ca is now available in Lloydminster, Cold Lake, North Battleford, and surrounding communities. Get local internet that you can rely on with no data caps and starting at just $39.99. And because they're local, you won't spend hours on hold anymore. It's unmatched customer service. Call 306-825-7111 today or visit swiftnet.ca. We'll be heading out tomorrow to deliver more cupcakes for caregivers, and we'll be visiting a group of caregivers that I never thought of when we put this initiative in place. So you can help us recognize caregivers by nominating a caregiver or caregivers in your life. Cupcakes for Caregivers is presented by Sobeys Lloydminster and Umbrella Marketing and Design Inc. And all you have to do is send us an email to livewithkurtprice@gmail.com and tell us about that special caregiver. The Lloydminster Exhibition's Chase the Ace draw takes place tonight, 7:30 at the Nissan Exhibition Grill. You can purchase tickets in person at the Lloyd X office during regular office hours. Use your Visa and MasterCard. Go to lloydx.com or get tickets, each 3 for $25, 8 for $50, or 20 for $100 by subscribing and using e-transfer. The jackpot could get to over $30,000, and there are 48 cards remaining in that deck. The Community Health Night meeting is tomorrow night at the Legacy Center. And doors open at 6:30. Things get started at 7 with some presentations from Derek Miller with Saskatchewan Health and VP Julie Pemberton, and Christine Sewell from AHS will be there as well. And Michael Jayachuk told us that there will be a chance for you to attend and ask questions.
There'll be an opportunity to provide some written questions as well, and we're going to also have an open mic forum where you'll get 60 seconds or thereabouts to ask your question. What we want to be able to do is keep it on track, and it's not about it's not a forum to stand up and espouse a platform or whatever it is, but it's more about what does your question get to the point, because we want to give as many people the opportunity to ask the questions that and get the answers.
September is Big Brothers Big Sisters month, and Big Brothers and Big Sisters are hosting a big barbecue tomorrow at their office at unit number 3, 4301 49th Avenue. Canadian Natural Resources will be doing the cooking and serving. It starts at 11:30, runs till 1:30, and it will be by donation. You can also pre-order your burgers for pickup if you're in a hurry tomorrow around noon. All you have to do is contact Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and all monies raised will go towards their mentoring programs. I'll keep those nominations coming in for Meals in the Fields. We're not done yet. Just like the farmers, we are not done yet, but we're getting close. There's a chance to win a wrap-up party for up to 50 people, and it has been, and I don't want to jinx it, but a pretty smooth harvest so far for most of the farmers that we've talked to. And one of those farmers is Garth George, who also owns Bradley Air Spray. So farmers are also eligible to win 160 acres of spraying from Bradley Air Spray. So keep those nominations coming in. All you have to do is visit our Facebook page to nominate a farmer. And we want to thank Farm Credit Canada, Diamond 7 Meats, the Tent Guys, Asset Link Heavy Equipment Sales, Vical Agro, Sobeys Lloydminster, Bradley Airspray, and the Gary Melka Foundation for their support. Superior Water specializes in nothing but water, and with 25 years in the business, they're proud and confident that their water and service is superior. For iron filters, water softeners, reverse osmosis distillers, chlorine removal, and H2S odor removal, you can give Superior Water a call, 780-875-6636, or see them at their 57th Avenue location right beside Sheepskin Loft, and stay hydrated with pure, clean water. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste, and after all, it is superior water. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we're going to find out all about this wine tasting event coming up October 17th from a local company, locally owned, Lloyd Wine Outfitters, and we'll talk to Brandy Hewitt in just a moment.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Hello, Lloydminster! We are thrilled to bring the Bin Blitz pop-up sale. This drop every day, starting Thursday at $25, Friday at $15, Saturday is $5 day, and wrapping up on Sunday with $2 day. Join us on Thursday, September 18 for the first Bin Blitz sale at the Lloydminster exhibition in the Dick Jones Pavilion. The most fun you have ever had saving money.
BioClean Disaster Services is committed, certified, reliable, and they will help you get your life back. 1-833-246-8326. They are the local restoration company celebrating 10 years in Lloydminster. They're also Lloydminster's largest restoration company, and they will take care of your property. They will take care of your belongings, but more than anything, they'll take care of you and your family. BioClean Disaster Services, 1-833-246-8326. Well, we are pleased to welcome Brandy Hewitt to the program. Brandy and her husband, Jeff, are fairly new owners of Lloyd Wine Outfitters. We appreciate you being here, Brandy. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So, Brandy, how many years have you guys had it now?
We've owned the business for just a little over 2 years. Back in June of 2023, we took over the business from the original owners, Gavin and Nicole Dudding, who started the business back in 2010.
What made you guys want to get into the winemaking business?
Well, actually, Jeff and I used to be winemakers ourselves back in our younger days. We used to make wine and beer kits at home, and then we kind of got to a certain age where we were having kids, and we just didn't have the time and the space to do it anymore. And so we kind of stopped, and then we actually ran into Nicole at a trade show one year. I think it was back in like 2016 or so, and it was like, we found out that she could make it for us. So we were like, well, that's great, because we don't want to do it anymore. So we let her do it. And we became fairly good customers of hers. We were there quite regularly, bottling off our wines and bringing them home. And then, in December of 2022, she approached us, and she actually handpicked me and asked me if I could take over the business for her, if I wanted to purchase the business. So I jumped on it right away, and I was like, absolutely.
It came out of the blue?
Yeah, it did. It really did. It was, and from there, we started the process, and we took it over in June of 2023.
So now you're the other person making the wine for others.
Yeah.
How much are you enjoying it?
I love my job. I mean, I get to go to work and make wine every day. How awesome is that?
Yeah. Yeah, and I imagine it would be rewarding too.
It is. It really is. I mean, I'm sure everybody says this, but I really do have the best customers that come in because everybody's happy. I always have happy customers. They're coming because they're coming in to bottle their wine and they're coming to take it home, or they're starting their wines and for an event or just because.
Now, you mentioned beer. Now, that's
Yes.
something you guys kind of, well, not just beer, but you've expanded.
Yeah, so when we took over the business, we decided that we weren't just going to continue doing the same thing. We wanted to make it bigger and better, and that's kind of our thing that we do. So Jeff and I started making beer on site with beer kits, and we did cider, and now we do cider kits on site, and we even do sparkling wines now.
Can you just kind of take us through what happens if somebody comes in and they're looking for a certain wine? How do you approach that? Like is it what kind of wine do you like?
Yeah.
You got to find the right mix for you.
That's exactly what we do. I always ask them, what do you like? And they can tell me like, well, I like a Merlot. And I'm like, okay, great, because I have 3. So it just depends. Like, do you like a lighter, easier drinking wine? Do you like that heavy, dry, full-bodied red wine? Or do you like something kind of in the middle? And they tell me what they like, and I put them in the right wine that they're going to enjoy and they're going to be happy with.
A lot of businesses will give it as Christmas gifts too.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. We've had businesses come in and start their wines for Christmas parties. If they're having a private Christmas party and they start their wines and beers even, we have them as Christmas giveaways. They give to customers, to clients, appreciation at Christmas, or their staff. We've even had companies come in and do like a team building where they come in and they'll start the wine, or they'll do a couple of wine kits, and then they get a group of staff to come in and they're all spending time sanitizing bottles, filling the bottles, corking them, labels, heat shrinks, all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
A great way to like celebrate an anniversary or something too.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. We actually just had a couple come in, and it was their 50th wedding anniversary, and they bottled their wine on the 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's cool.
To take home. Yeah.
Now, you wanted to come in because you have a huge event coming up.
Yes,
you
I do.
have an annual event coming
Yes.
up, and I want you to tell us about that wine tasting event.
So we're doing our annual wine tasting event. It's going to be on Friday, October 17th. It's going to be held in the OTS room at the Service Sports Center, right there on the second floor. The event starts at 7 p.m., but the doors will open at 6:30. So it's really it's a great event to get out on a Friday night. You know, grab yourself a babysitter and come out and you can try some wines. So we have limited edition wine kits that come out. And they get released anywhere every month between December and April. You get one wine kit released a month. There's 5 different wines. So we get the commercial equivalent wine to those wine kits. And we taste them. We have a food pairing that goes with them. So you get like a little snack, a little bite to eat, just to try, like sip a wine, take a bite, sip a wine, take a bite.
Yep.
And you really just have the different flavors in there. So there'll be 5 different wines to choose from. And if you enjoy the wine, then you have the opportunity to reserve that wine kit and for when it gets released. We have to send Wine Expert, our retail supplier, our reservations by a certain time. And it's early November, we have to send them in so that they know, because they only make a certain quantity, so they have to know how much they're going to need to release to everyone. So
it's October 17th,
Yes.
upstairs in the OTS room.
Yep.
And how do you get tickets?
You can come down to Lloyd Wine Outfitters at 4833 49th Street here in Lloydminster on the Saskatchewan side, and you can purchase tickets directly from us.
Okay. And you got an expert coming in. You mentioned
Yes.
our expert.
Yes,
I like the word our.
She is Naomi from Put a Cork in It. She's our sommelier, and she is wonderful. She comes in and she just hosts the entire evening. What I really love about her is her and I have that kind of connection where, you know, she said to me on the phone when I first spoke to her, she said, "I'm not a wine snob, but I like to have fun." And I'm like, perfect because either am I. I am not a wine snob. I do know a thing or two about wines, but yeah, we're just there to have a good time. And she tells jokes. She gives us little information tidbits. Like last year, there was a Carmenere that was released. And she talked about, when she was talking about the Carmenere wine, she said, did you know that there's a Carmenere Day in November? And it was like, well, that's fantastic because that's new information to me. I didn't even know that. And so we can celebrate Carmenere Day.
What is Carmenere?
It's a type of wine. It's from Chile.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice smooth wine. We actually have a Carmenere kit at the store, and it's one of my favorites personally.
Do you have people who order all 5?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I bet.
absolutely. We even have customers that come in and they'll order 2 of each.
Right.
And it's really smart because if you really enjoy that wine, then you have an extra kit as well, because one kit makes 30 bottles of wine. And once these kits are gone, they're gone for good. That's it.
They don't bring them back.
Nope, they do not bring them back. And
You
so
gotta wait the whole year.
yeah. And so once they're sold out, that's it. That's all you get.
Can you take us through a little bit of the wines, like of
Absolutely.
the choices?
Yeah, so there'll be 5 wines that are coming out this year between December and April. So in December, the Pinot Shiraz will be released, and it's a nice blend of Pinot Noir and Shiraz. It comes from Australia. That's a really nice, like medium to full body wine. It's got a medium oak in it. It's quite nice.
Well, I like what you've paired it with, the pork tenderloin with the sauteed
That's actually
mushrooms.
the food pairing that we're going to be serving
Yeah.
at the event is the pork tenderloin with sauteed
Yeah.
mushrooms. Yeah, it's going to be really good. I'm very excited about that one.
Okay, and then you've got...
And then we're going to have the Blanc du Noir. That's going to be released in January. And that is a nice dry medium body wine from France. It's a nice blended one. It's got the Grenache grapes as well as the Sauvignon Blanc in it. So that'll be really nice. And that we're actually going to do grilled peach. And I always say this wrong, but mascarpone and honey. I always pronounce that word
Right over my
The
head.
cheese.
I hear honey.
It's cheese.
Okay, okay.
It's similar to a ricotta.
Okay, yeah.
And then in February, we have our Malbec Cabernet. That's also a full body medium oak dry wine from Mendoza, Argentina. So it's a really nice Argentine wine. And that food pairing is actually going to be the blue cheeseburgers with that. We're going to do like a nice small kind of like meatball style
Okay.
burger with that. And then we have the Pinot Gris Verdelho. That is a nice dry medium body white wine, also from Australia. And we're going to have just a nice light pear, walnut, and goat cheese salad with that one that you'll be able to taste. And then the last one that gets released in April, this is like usually the most popular ones that come out in April because they are like the heavy, dry, full-bodied red wines. It comes with the grape skins, which just adds that much more to it. So that is a blended, it's a Pacific Rim, so it has the Chilean Carmenere, the Australian Shiraz, the California Cab Sav, and then a New Zealand Merlot, all blended together into one wine. So that one will be really nice. The food pairing, we're still undecided which one to do just yet. There's a few options. So we're kind of in the middle of figuring out which one to do there because they're all good, but we can only choose one. So.
I love how in this booklet you've got suggestions.
Yes, we have the brochures here.
Yeah.
And we always like to pick one food pairing from the brochure to do with these wines, just to match it up nicely.
It's a real big event.
It is.
This is a huge event.
Yeah.
And there's when you come in, you have a chance to win some prizes as well.
Absolutely. So we'll have some door prizes at the front that night. So we just enter to win. You usually have some gift cards. We have a gift basket full of all sorts of goodies in there. And yeah, so.
And you will go home with something.
Yes, we also actually, everyone who attends the event, they go home with 2 half-size bottles of wine that I've already made and it's ready to go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
you get a free wine stopper this year with those with the bags that we sent home.
So I'm thinking a great night for couples, great night for ladies'
Absolutely.
night. Like any kind of
Anybody.
get out of the house.
Absolutely.
Kind of event, right?
And this year also, we have the Best Western Plus because they're right next door, and there's actually the plus 15 that goes right over, so you don't even have to go outside. They've offered a discount for anybody who wants to attend the event. You're going to get 20% off a room if you decide that you want to spend the night.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so it's really a night out.
Yeah, that really works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Takes date night to the whole next level.
Now, you can purchase your tickets. You're also giving people a chance to win them.
Yes, so we are going to be giving away 2 tickets on 106.1 The Goat. We're going to be giving away 2 tickets on the country music station, 95.9. And then we're also going to give away 2 tickets through our social media, through our Facebook and Instagram. We're going to do a giveaway. So watch everything, listen to the radio, because it's coming.
Yeah. Best thing to do is probably subscribe to your channel, right?
Absolutely.
On Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, and get all the updates.
Absolutely.
Right there. What am I forgetting, Brandy? Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so at this time, no.
So if you are interested in Lloyd Wine Outfitters, is the Facebook page the best to find out more information about your
Facebook,
business?
Instagram. We have our website, lloydwineoutfitters.com. You can check out all of the latest and greatest there.
Love to see some new faces out, though.
Yes, I would. I would love to see a lot of new faces this year. I hope we sell out quickly.
Thank you, Brandy.
Thank you so much.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will hear, this was Brandy Hewitt. When we take a break, we'll come back and hear about John Hewitt. No relation, just a coincidence. But John is going to tell us about his performance with his band that's coming to the Vic Juba Theatre as a Jim Croce tribute on September the 29th.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at L&A CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. L&A CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Welcome to Wellings of Lloydminster and a community of ageless explorers. At Wellings, age is but a number and adventure is always part of the day. Come experience carefreedom living at Wellings of Lloydminster, where adults 55 plus enjoy a vibrant, stress-free way of life with a whole lot of fun. You can stop in and say hello to their new general manager, Nicole, at 7211 72nd Avenue on the Alberta side. And visit wellingsoflloydminster.com for more. Wellings of Lloydminster, carefreedom living starts here. So a couple of days ago, I was able to catch up with John Hewitt. He's performing as part of, and he's not the only one singing, as we'll find out, but he's performing as part of the Jim Croce tribute that is coming to the Vic Juba Theatre September 29th. Here is our conversation. Pleased to be joined by John Hewitt from Second Sunset Productions. John does writing. He performs in the show that's coming to Lloydminster on September 29th. It is the Jim Croce tribute, and we're excited to have him. Thanks for doing this, John. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for taking the time to chat about the show.
Yeah, uh, I'm not sure where I'd like to start. I guess I'd like to start with the music of Jim Croce and why we do a tribute to a guy who was not around that long. He was only 30 years old. What do you think it is about Jim Croce's music?
I think he struggled actually quite a while in the music industry to get to the successful point he was at just before he passed. And I think the kind of events that he went through to try and officially make it, as they say, led to a very enormous amount of beautiful songs in a very short period of time. And I think the 3 records that he released shortly before he passed away, that everybody's familiar with the tunes and the hits, was sort of an amalgamation of everything leading up to that point. And I think that long struggle to get to success is sort of what built such a strong catalog of songs, love songs and story songs and songs about truckers and bar fights, and also, again, some of the most beautiful love songs. And I think he really somehow, through the 10 years trying to make it, finally got to that point of being one of those great songwriters through the struggle, I believe, anyways.
What is it that makes his music last? I think you're younger than I am, and I was born the year that he died. Why do we keep going back to Jim Croce's music so much and finding so much meaning in it?
I think we've been talking about it like it just the group as we've been rehearsing, and he's sort of the perfect combination of blue collar and white collar. And he's got like these story songs about bar rooms and fights and drinking beers and stuff like that. Some of them are quirky, some of them are funny, but then he also has some of the most beautiful love songs I think anybody's ever written, outside of maybe Gordon Lightfoot and some other heavy hitting songwriters. His music it's about people, it's about relationships, it's about common relatable things. And I think that really allows for the audience and the listener to really relate to what he's singing about.
Is that what drew you to him to do this tribute?
Well, it's interesting because when I first heard about Jim, you mentioned age. I'm 35, and I was about 12 or 13 when I first heard Jim's music, and even at that age, it blew me away. I couldn't even comprehend what I was hearing. I fell in love with his music, and so recently, about 6 months ago, we did a Gordon Lightfoot tribute, and we're all sort of. I'm a songwriter, and everybody in the group is also in my band. So we get together and talk about, hey, what would we like to do next? What makes the most sense? And when I mentioned Jim Croce, it was almost unanimous, this excitement. And we're all young guys who were, never around when his music was released, but we all got this excitement in digging into the music and into the songs. And for us, I think it's just there's a quality in his music that you don't get, especially with his short-lived career. You don't get that kind of quality with every artist where you can take 20 songs and make an extremely sort of energetic mixed with passionate and intimate. You got a little bit of everything in his catalog in such a short period. So for us, it was really just a passion project that we felt that we could really dig into.
You mentioned us, John. Who's us? Who's coming to be on that stage at the Vic Juba Theatre?
Yeah, so I'm one of the singers and guitar players, and I'll be sort of co-fronting the show. And Benjamin Williams will be the other guy that's singing the other lead or most of the other leads. Benjamin did the Gordon Lightfoot tribute that we put together, and I produced it. I wasn't in it, but he was the lead singer in that one and performer. And then Connor Miskimen is on bass, and he's also singing a couple of songs. And then we have Eric Mortimer on piano and keys, sort of doing the string arrangements and some of the piano parts, and Jordan Dempster on drums. So we'll have a 5-piece band there, sort of capturing all the elements of the studio recordings as much as we can.
That's really interesting to me because, like, when you listen to Jim Croce's music, there's the original sound, and then there's always the stereo versions. Right? They always have 2 versions of the songs. And it's like, what do you prefer? Almost like the scratchiness of a record or the pureness of a CD sort of thing?
Well, I'm a vinyl guy. I'm kind of in our rehearsal space here. If I was in the other room, you'd see about 1,500 records sitting on my wall, and I either had to move the records in here, or the computer out there, and I didn't have time. But for me, it's always vinyl. I love, having that record in front of you and staring at it while you're listening to the album. And for recordings, the unique thing with Croce is he didn't tour with a band. He got so big so fast that him and his guitar player Maury would just tour as an acoustic duo. And in the last couple of months, they had a piano player, but it was very, very sparse compared to the recordings. And even some of the recordings are fairly sparse, beautifully produced. But so we've incorporated a bit of that into the show so that we can sort of have a couple of songs that feel like the way they would have performed them live when they were touring. But for me, and probably most of the audience, they remember, having the 8-track or having the record or something and listening to it and hearing a bit of the crack and the pop and the hiss. And I'm nostalgic for that myself.
When it comes to the tribute of Jim Croce, are you trying to sound like Jim or just trying to play these songs as a tribute to Jim or tell his story?
We don't, I don't personally care for the imitation style tribute shows. That's just a personal taste. So what we've done is we want to perform them well. We want to have high quality performances. We're studying the songs and we are replicating the parts, but we're not trying to imitate Jim in any way. We do hope that people feel like they're getting the best quality out of the performance, and we spend a lot of time focusing on that, making sure the parts are right. But we're not going to imitate him. We do want to talk about his life, and I just read his biography that his widow at the time, Ingrid Croce, wrote about him and his life and their life together. So I want to incorporate some of those stories. And he was also, they say that he was just as funny as he was a songwriter. So a lot of his shows in the early, or in 72, 73, he'd have these things called raps where he'd tell these funny stories about the people he'd meet on the road, or stories about truck drivers or different things. So we want to try and incorporate some of that as well so that the audience is getting a bit of a laugh. And we always try and incorporate some humor in the shows, because sometimes in his category, or Gordon Lightfoot, a lot of serious songs, a lot of, heavy love songs and stuff. So you got to lighten the mood up once in a while and keep everybody smiling.
I'm thinking about the times that I've seen Jim Croce videos, and you're right. There's never a lot of big production behind him or anything like that. It's him and his jean jacket, his blue jeans mostly, and he had that cat sticker on the shoulder of his he really was for everybody. I think that's a big part of it. Why do you think it's important to keep tributes going like this and the legacy of guys like Jim Croce?
I think, well, specifically with Jim, I think I feel like he sort of gets lost in the mix. I consider him to be just as good a songwriter as Neil Young or like I said, Gordon Lightfoot, Joni Mitchell, Leonard Cohen, John Prine, some of those heavy hitting songwriters. You hear their names a lot. You don't hear Jim's name quite as much. And I think if he had another 10 years of a career, 20 years, he'd be up there with everybody else. So for me, that's, as a songwriter myself, that's why it's important for me. But I also think, people like to be entertained. They like nostalgia, but I also think it's important to try and introduce some of this old music to younger generations. And, it's a tribute show, but we're not a cover band. We're trying to approach it as musicians who are trying to do the music justice. And I think sometimes, much like us, when we first heard his music, it sort of changed our lives, or somebody who heard the records when they came out in the early 70s. I like the idea of, someone who's 15 or 20 or a young songwriter or something who comes to the show or comes with their grandparent or something and leaves going, wow, I got to dig into this guy's catalog. And I hope some of these artists still get played like they do classical music, 400 years old, they're still playing it. And I hope to just be a part of keeping some of those legends alive on stage even long after they're gone.
I'm not even sure how you define Jim Croce's music. Do you like, is it folk? Would that be the best kind of?
It's tough because it's folk, it's Americana, it's maybe adult contemporary in some cases.
Some cases almost reggae.
Yeah, and some of it's quirky, some of it's funny, some of it's borderline country, depending on your definition of some of these genres. But I mean, for me, it's Jim. He's one of those guys that I've never been disappointed by a track that I've heard from him. So maybe we'll just call it Jim Croce, and that's what it is.
Is there, I know, I don't want to say a specific part of the show because I know you like telling the stories and the quirkiness and stuff like that, but is there a certain song that you really appreciate and you really at the point of the show that you're really looking forward to?
Well, we're all certainly excited to play the hits, because I know that a lot of the audience is going to come to see that. But as songwriters and sort of music aficionados, I'm personally really excited for a tune, Box Number 10 from his first record, is one of my favorite songs that I'm doing a version of that. And just going through the rehearsal, it was nice because it's the first show that our bass player is singing a couple songs, and he's doing New York's Not My Home and I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song. So I'm really excited to sort of give him a couple spots to shine, and I get to play some harmonica and change things up. So, but we're doing, everything from Photographs and Memories, plus some B-sides and deep cuts. And we're just excited to tackle the catalog and bring it to the stage and bring it across the Canadian prairies, which I'm not sure if he ever got to tour out here. I was trying to figure that out. It looks like he might have played in Toronto or Vancouver, but I don't know in his short career if he ever actually came to the prairies. So this might be maybe the first concert of his music that's coming through some of these places.
Yeah, a career so short that a lot of the music we hear were singles after he died. Right?
Absolutely.
So
he passed away on September 20th, 1973, and the single "I Got a Name" was scheduled to come out on the 21st. So his last album wasn't even finished yet when he passed away, and then they did some reissue singles with "Time in a Bottle" and "Time in a Bottle," and it was another one that was a reissue. He was only the third posthumous #1 hit after Janis Joplin and Otis Redding.
I didn't know that. There's something nostalgic about his music, like you said. It just takes me back to being a kid, and his music just has so much reflections as you get older. It incorporates new things in your life. He's just a great storyteller.
Well, and a guy and this is sort of the strange thing to think of when I think of, speaking of, Otis Redding and some of those artists who died so young. To listen to Jim's catalog is his 3 big albums, and to sit there and go, this guy was 30 when he died. He wrote all of this in his late 20s, and some of the songs are very deep and introspective, and things that we may struggle to say to another person, he put it down in a song at such a young age. And I do think that makes people who are 20 just as easily relating to the songs as somebody who's in their 60s, 70s, or 80s. It's very universal music, I think.
John, thank you so much for this. Really appreciate you giving us some of your time, and looking forward to the show. It's Jim Croce Tribute on September 29th at the Vic Juba Theatre on the Olmershev stage. And it's one of those shows that you're going to love each and every song, I think. Absolutely. Thank you for putting this together. We're looking forward to coming to Lloydminster with the show. Thanks so much, John. Thank you. I want to thank John Hewitt for joining us. That is going to be a fantastic show on September the 29th. It is, I believe, a Monday night, but it will be a very good show at the Vic Juba Theatre. We're back with you tomorrow morning. We'll be downtown at Border City Furniture. We'll bring you the Prospectives, and we have Lana Lane joining us, and possibly a brother and sister duo that would join us as well. We're working on that, but we'll have a great show for you tomorrow from Border City Furniture in downtown Lloydminster, all about the best parts of Lloydminster. We hope you can join us at 10 a.m.